This is V from A Canadian RVer. Today is March the 30th, and what we've decided to do is start heading home just a little sooner with all the craziness going on in the world with this virus. So what we're doing this morning is we're packing up, we're putting all our hoses together, we've got the car ready to go, and just preparing things, and we'll take you for a ride all the way home and let you know what it's like to get fuel. But right now we're just cleaning up all our hoses, getting our sewer hose put away, and we'll getting ready to leave. So hooked up and ready to go. So we're just going to be pulling out of our street here and heading down to 75, the highway. So we'll keep you on the video and let you know what's going on. We've just turned on Highway 75 North, and the traffic is very, very light. There's a few cars that are passing us, and we haven't seen any trucks yet, but this is now north on 75. Here we are just south of Ocala, and traffic is a lot less on the roads. There's still some trucks around, but traffic for cars is really low right now, and we're doing good. The speed is up at 60-62 miles per hour. I'll give you a look at the highway, what it is right now, and you see it's very quiet. Not a lot of traffic on it either way, but it's a nice warm day. It's still up in the high 70s, low 80s, and it's a pleasure driving. Doesn't seem to be an issue at all. The Flying J that we went into was very quiet. A few truckers were there, of course, filling up, and a few RVers. We've also seen another RVer beside us from Ontario, so I guess it's going to be quite busy at Walmart's tonight. Stopped at our first rest stop just south of Lake City, and we'll be taking a break here, having some lunch, and picking up shortly. But this is where I always do my inspections, checking all the tires, checking the tow bar system. And the nice thing about this one is it's really level. So the whole idea of towing a car or towing anything is you got to have it as level as possible from the tow point to the car. Right now we're running our generator for the first time in a while. Going along and inspecting all of the tires, making sure that they're looking good. Looking at the awnings, looking at any of the door openings, the slide outs. And there's our standard poodle, Taurus.
You'll have to edit all this. Here comes another one.
Leaving Florida and crossing over into Georgia. So you can see where the traffic is still quite light. A lot of trucks in the road, but can't say there's a lot of cars or enough RVs, I guess, from people going back north in the US and a lot of Canadians still heading home. We are our third rest stop, and what we plan to do here is just have some dinner and then we'll carry on. But this is a real nice rest stop, really big, and there's a few other truckers here. Our goal tonight is to see if we can get past Atlanta, Georgia, and shouldn't be much traffic, so we'll see what we can do. But right now we're just taking a little walk, and here's Taurus. He's just sniffing around and looking around, waiting for Mom. But we'll be just taking a little break here, having our dinner, and then we'll take off again. Do at every rest stop is again just walk around and check all the RV and the car, make sure the towing equipment is right on. Bike is secure. Sometimes I open up this door right here. We have a freezer right in there, so let it breathe and cool off a little bit. But we're ready to stop and have dinner. You're probably wondering what I'm doing on the side of the road here in a construction area, but let me tell you the full story. We were just entering the southern part of Kentucky, and there was a construction area which had divided lanes, meaning that all they wanted you to stay in your lane. So one of the lanes went right, and one of the lanes went north on the north side, which was the left side. But they were both going north, and we're supposed to stay in our lane. Well, I monitor all my tires, all the RV tires, all the car tires. All of a sudden, as we were coming into this area, I noticed the alarm went off on the driver's side front on the car. Within about a minute, I kind of saw it go from 35 psi to 20 psi to 10, and then 0. And I thought, well, either there's a malfunction or there is a tire problem. So I didn't want to take any chances. So I pulled over right to this spot. And fortunately, we were not in the northbound left lane. We were in the northbound passenger side lane, as we are right here. So what I did do is I went outside and I checked the tire, and sure enough, it was quite flat. So now what I did is I have a Viair pump. I tried pumping up the tire to see where the leak was or what was happening, and I couldn't get enough volume into the tire to find the leak. So what I did is I called our roadside assistants, and they were very helpful. They took all my information, and then they called for support. Also, what I did is I called 911 and explained to the operator where we were, and the challenge was there was a lot of trucks going by us, and I wanted to be protected because I couldn't change the tire or do anything because I was only 4 feet away from the highway. So about 4 or 5 minutes later, we did see a state trooper pull up. I went out and talked to him, and I was able to secure him, or he said that he would stay as long as it took for us to get the tire repaired. So about 5 minutes after that, we had a crew come up and have a look at the tire. And they could put a lot more air in the tire, of course, as they blew it up. They found the leak, and surprisingly, it turned out to be a piece of bone. So I don't know how bone got into it. So finally, from that event, we're back on the road. The police officer stayed with us all of that time, the state trooper. The guys pumped up the tire, put a patch into it, and we were rolling again in about 20-25 minutes of total stop. So we're very thankful to the state trooper and the company who came up to service our tire from our company that has our insurance for roadside assistance. But now I'm going to show you around the coach a little bit, and just to show you what I'm doing is I have an iPad here that is monitoring the engine. It's telling me thrust, it's telling me foot-pounds of torque, it's telling me the engine. There's my front collision camera. That's the Garmin is always recording, and a lot of this video came from that camera or my GoPro. The other part that will take you around the coach here very quickly is you'll see that's our GPS, which is a 7-inch screen, and our lifesaver right there is our tire pressure monitoring system, and I totally recommend them, because if you don't know what your tires are doing, you don't know what's beneath them, and you can get into some serious trouble. Again, we'll take another walk around the coach. There's my LED on my dash that lights up my dash. The equipment that is telling me all of my engine performances and what they're doing. My LED lighting again, which I installed, that lights up the dash so I can see it through my sunglasses or on very bright days. Well, here's a very interesting chain of events. We just pulled into a Flying J in Valhalla, and there was no truck spots that we could pull into, of course, because you have to back in. So what they allowed us to do is park across from the propane tanks, and this is very unique. We've never seen this one before. We've parked in a lot of Walmarts, but tonight we're parking in a fire route, believe it or not, and we've checked with security and they said it's okay to do that. So we've got our pylons out, and you can see all the truckers that are all around the area. But tonight we're staying at a Flying J, and we're about 200 miles from the border, so we hope to get up quite early and make a dash for the border, see if we can get across quite early, and then we'll have most of tomorrow to unload the RV, head to our home, and then we have to quarantine or isolate ourselves for 14 days. So very unique situation here with all the truckers. You can see them all the way around. This will be a new experience for us. Pretty gloomy up here in Toledo, Ohio. This is now our last stop before we'll cross the border, and we're just picking up some supplies so that we can self-quarantine for 14 days and not go to a grocery store. So we're pretty well there. It's been a long haul for the last 2 days, and just going around checking doing my security checks again, checking out the tow bar as we do at every stop. That looks good. Checking all the tires, tire pressure monitoring. This was the tire that had a problem when we were stuck on the side of the I-75, and when they came, put a patch in it, and it was because of those little things right there. Tire pressure monitoring system. Totally recommend it. If you don't have it, don't bother RVing, because you will run into trouble. If we didn't have that tire pressure monitoring and I didn't know that tire was down, that would have shredded completely if I would have kept going. So within the alarm, 1 minute, I was able to pull over to supposedly a safe spot, but we also called 911 and had the police there too to help us out. So it all worked out well. So we're going to stop and have lunch, and then we will head for the border. We're now just coming up to the border crossing, and it sure looks busy around here. I mean, there's no other vehicles from what I can see following us. Boy, when they say the board was closed, the board was closed.
Oh, there's a nice little boat.
Yep. on this side?
U.S.
No, this is Canada.
Right here.
Thanks for watching our video. We tried to give you as much information on the roads and all the events that were happening with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the bell to be notified and give us a thumbs up. And we'll see you in the next video.